going to move on to our next author, Sharika K. Forde, and she's written a memoir and a collection of poetry and several children's books. She believes that the challenges we face can foster self-discovery, and she strives to live a full life of fulfillment through her passion for creative artistry. So, Sharika, you're on.
Hi, thank you. I just need to correct you. It's Sharika.
Sharika, oh, you know, I have a good friend who's, I'm so sorry. And every time I see that name, I think of Shakira. I can't help.
Listen, I get it all the time. People see the name and they automatically say Shakira. So I get it all.
Really?
All the time.
Oh,
yes, I get it all. So you're not the only one.
Okay. Well, they're relatively rare names. So, you know, Sharika.
Yes. Yes. So yes, thank you for having me. So I'm a local author. I live in East Hartford. Just to give you some background information about myself, I'm originally from New Jersey, but I came to Connecticut as a young girl. I was about 10 years old. And I always enjoyed writing, even as a young child. I was a little shy. I'm still a little introverted. And I think expressing myself through writing was my comfort zone. So even as a young girl, I enjoyed writing. I'm a mother. I have 4 sons. I also have 2 grandsons, and I work full-time as an office manager at a nonprofit organization. So along with that, I found time to pursue my passion, which is writing. So like you said, I have...
I'm just so amazed because working full-time and 4 sons and grandchildren, I can't imagine that you have much time at all. But go ahead.
I know. Well, I used to write just every now and then. I would write a poem here and there. And we was talking earlier, I would always keep the poems to myself. I used to didn't share my writing with anyone. It took me a long time to find the courage to really put my work out there because my poems are very personal. They're about emotional experiences I've gone through or someone close to me have gone through. So for a very long time, I kept them to myself. And it wasn't until 2017 that I decided, you know what, let me just go ahead, publish these and see what happens. And a lot of people enjoy them. A lot of people can relate to them. A lot of people feel what my words, you know, through my writing. So it's been an incredible experience. And I've been writing ever since. So I put that first book out and I haven't stopped since then. So it's been incredible.
And that, I mean, you speak to the people coming behind you because I think we all go through that of being embarrassed about our own personal emotions and life. And you have done it. You've crossed over and been able to reveal yourself. That's a real big, courageous thing to do. And I applaud you. It's really hard. Now this one book that you're going to talk about. Oh, let me share my screen and show you the book.
Okay.
The picture of the book. Okay, let me share the screen. And this is Sharika's book, The Awakening, book of poems and short stories. And it's on Amazon. I went to Amazon to find it. And I think all your books are on Amazon, are they, right?
Yes, they're all on Amazon and they're also on my own website. I have a website, sharikakforde.com, so they're there as well. But yes, you can find them online. And I chose to talk about this book because The Awakening Book of Poems, I Dream in Color, this book explores the Black experience in America. So because it's Black History Month, I chose to talk about this book. And when I say the Black experience in America, it's not just about the hardships and the inequalities. It's also about our strengths. It's about us being a community. It's about wanting more for our families and generational wealth and growth. So it takes you through all those emotions of the Black experience in America as well. So and there's short stories in there. They're just like a few paragraphs long, but the short stories shows you where the poem was inspired from. So before you read the poem, there's a little paragraph before it, so you know what inspired the poem.
Oh, wow. Is there a poem that you would like to read from the book? that's,
Sure, yeah. So, so actually, I'm going to read the subtitle of the book is I Dream in Color. And that's the first poem that I wrote for the book and basically set the tone for the entire book. So that's the poem I'll read to you today. Okay. I dream in color. I dream of a world filled with black diamonds and pearls and a rainbow of gems covering the globe. A world where little black boys and girls aren't judged by their troubles, instead acknowledged by their struggles and commended for their courage. Courage to stand up to individuals who try to crush their identity and place them in a box that controls their reality and alter their dreams of security. I dream in color. The color of love, hope, and bravery where there are no boundaries and all colors live freely and have the same opportunities. A world where justice isn't just for some, and we no longer have to overcome. No longer marching, screaming for peace. No longer watching mothers burying their sons who were shot by police or became victims to the streets. I dream in color, where we live free of violence, racism, and bigotry, where we create our own jobs and rebuild our communities, plant seeds in the minds of our youth and watch them prosper, and are looked at for more than just a name on a roster. A world filled with kindness, laughter, and beauty, where there is faith, progress, and unity. I dream in color. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
For expressing
so
those.
That was the very first poem that I wrote for the book. And for me personally, it was this so powerful, and it encompassed everything that I think we feel as a community. Like I said, throughout all the hardships, we still fight, we're still here, we're still strong. And we want to see each generation get better and improve, keep improving. So it's the poem itself is special to me. All of my books are special to me. They're all are personal in one way or another. So I'm just happy to share them with everyone.
Do you believe that we'll ever get to that point where we don't have to march in parades and we don't have to, that we won't have to overcome anything any longer? Do you think that will happen? I
have hope. I really do. I do think because of all the terrible things that happened in 2020 with George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and all of that, it brought a lot of awareness to people who were outside of that bubble, kind of. Like, a lot of people didn't believe our stories, and showing them, and the fact that there's video now to show you what's really happening, people are becoming more well, and then now, believe in our stories. I mean, this has been happening in our communities. Stuff like that's been happening in our communities, generation after generation after generation. But it took for it to actually be on video for people to say, wow. And so I think I have hope. I really do have hope. I have to have hope for my grandkids and for the once I'm gone, for all the family members that's going to come after me. You have to have hope. So yeah, I do have hope that one day it will be, and it has been getting better.
And this poetry collection has your hope within it.
Yes.
Is that true?
It definitely does. It definitely does. Yes.
Good thing. Is there a story part of the book that you would like to share? Any stories that began with the poems that you want to talk about? Are there any short
sure.
ones?
Sure, I know. It's funny, most of my poems are short, but that was one of the longer ones. This is, yeah, I'll read this. It's not a poem, it's a short paragraph that I wrote before another poem. It's called The Dream. Looking in my grandson's eyes, I see innocence, I see adventure, I see curiosity, I see the future. I see a young Black boy growing up in a society where people will doubt him just because of the color of his skin. But I also see hope. I see pride, I see strength. I see a spirit strong enough to defeat any obstacles that arise. Young, gifted, and Black, the new generation of soldiers. So that's part of the hope. You know, that's part of the hope.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So, and I think like there's generations coming up who are already thinking about starting their own businesses, who are thinking about investment, who are thinking about, you know, like the MFTs, like the gentleman was talking about. They're already coming up with that mindset of owning their own, you know, and being their all bosses. So that mindset alone changes the narrative, you know.
For sure.
Yeah, it changes the narrative when you already have that instilled in you from a teenager. I see teenagers at book events that I do that's selling their own products. You know, I'm 40. I have no shame in telling my age. I'm 48 years old. I published my first book 5 years ago. It took me that long to get the courage to put myself out there. And I see these young kids doing it. So it's amazing. It's very encouraging.
Yeah, it is. They're very brave. They're very courageous.
They are.
I think that's true. Yeah. And you know, you're a busy person. How do you find time to write? When do you write? When do you write every day?
No. I don't. I wish I could. I don't write every day. I usually write Sunday mornings. It's something about the peacefulness on Sunday mornings that, like, I don't have to run out and do errands. I have a peacefulness on Sunday mornings, and I sit at my kitchen table and I play music very low and I write. And that's my time. I say that's my writing time. I do a little bit of writing throughout the week. I jot down things here and there, but that's where I focus most of my writing on Sundays and mornings. And you really have to, if it's something you're passionate about, you'll find the time to do it. And that's what I believe. Even though it's a little bit here and there, it adds up. And before you know it, you have a new book. So that's how it goes. Everybody always wants to know. New authors or aspiring authors want to know how you get started. Just start writing. That's it. I told them, start writing. You know, any little time you can find, write. And before you know it, you have a chapter done and then you have a book. So, yeah.
Wow. A little bit at a time, just step by step.
Exactly. Because we all live busy lives. Everyone lives a busy life. So it is hard to find time, but if you're really passionate about it, you'll find a way to do it.
Well, I think this is really valuable for people to understand too, that we have that opportunity to share with our community. And one of the wonderful things about your book too is that it's reflective of the time that we're living in, which is so, it's like momentous. And I think it has to be read because we have to know what's going on. And your relationship to the times that we're living in is important, right? Because you're observing it as it's going on. And this is a chronicle of your observations, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about my observations. It's also about me being a mother of 4 Black sons and, you know, worry about their future and you know, how they approach certain situations. So it's a combination of a lot of things. And I think, you know, it's important for everyone, not just, you know, African American people, but it's important for everyone to know each other's story. I think the more we communicate and read about each other and learn about each other, the more we can understand each other. You know,
absolutely. Because there's such a lot of bias and a lot of assumptions and that take place. And if you meet person to person and understand that it's not what you assume it to be or not part of your bias, it opens up avenues. I speak as a person who is not Black, who reads Black literature and loves to hear these stories because I want to know. I don't know a lot and I have to know more, you know.
Exactly.
So it's important. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we're going to go on to another author,